Diddy do it? The controversial freak-offs and the impact on Hollywood as the trial unfolds. Let's talk about Puff Daddy and what's going on with their latest testimony from Cassie Ventura and other people involved in these alleged freak-offs. I mean, they're not alleged, they all got admitted. Now we just kind of figure out what the criminal charges are. Have you guys been following what's going on? Diddy do it? Josh?
I don't know if Diddy did it. He obviously did quite a lot of things, right? The testimony is pretty jarring. And what's interesting is the defense isn't really disputing a lot of the facts, right? There's some really salacious, crazy things that are being said on the stand. But the whole issue for the prosecution is RICO, right? And just because he did all of these things, does that rise to the level of a RICO charge? And a lot of legal experts are saying probably not, at least not yet. We haven't seen it. Are you ruining this guy's life? Are you letting all the cats out of the bag? Yeah, you are. And he'll likely be found guilty on some type of charges. Is it human trafficking? Is it keeping people confined without their consent? Is it distribution of drugs? Is it non-payment of taxes? I don't know, but is it RICO? I don't know if it's there.
Rich? What do you feel about RICO?
Loves RICO.
What do you think about Diddy being charged for RICO?
I do not love RICO.
He did not love RICO. Tell me about RICO. What is a RICO charge?
I'm going to withhold my opinion on RICO
Okay,
charges.
tell the people what a RICO charge is, A
RICO charge, you have to have a conspiracy. It has to be an ongoing criminal enterprise. It has interstate exploitation happening with it. So here you have Diddy, who has properties in L.A., New York, Miami, parties and allegations of these parties happening all over the place, all over the country, outside the country. You have, like I said, the sex trafficking allegation. Now, again, a lot of times you see a lot of, groupies that come over. They want to hang out with the band member, the singer, the famous person, the actor. And that might have been what's happening from time to time. But I can't speak to the sex trafficking. I don't know anything more than just what the allegations are out there. But if these people were actually sex trafficked and they were drugged and kept from going from party to party, then absolutely throw the book at this guy. He's not a good guy then at that point. But I want to see some testimony from somebody. We have obviously Cassie saying he hit me, did this, and I'm sure it happened. There's eyewitness testimony.
We saw video evidence of her actually getting beaten
right
through
the hotel.
Hallway.
Yeah, that's her in the hallway.
But again, the consensual text messages from her saying, "I can't wait to get diddied," or whatever it is, is
and that's going to go to destroy some credibility that she may have, saying that she was in this fearful relationship when she's saying, and she's like, I can't wait to see you later. I want to get diddied, etc.
Yeah.
But doesn't mean that maybe at that point there was no physical violence. Maybe it became physical, or whatever. Again, we weren't there. We don't know. We're seeing what's happening as it comes out in the news and in trial.
It's not illegal to have an open relationship. It's not illegal to have consensual sex. It's not illegal to be do these freaky things during these, consensual. If it's consensual, what is illegal is drugging somebody. What is illegal is chaining somebody, without their consent.
Human trafficking.
Yeah, human trafficking. I mean, can you blindfold somebody and handcuff them? Sure, if they consent to it.
What about if they're having sex and the girl says, "I want you to choke me"? I hear stories like that happen sometimes.
There's a level.
And, there's a level of playful
sex play,
sexy choking versus choking.
I want to hear Rich say sexy choking.
Listen, I mean, but that's what happened. I mean, the alarming thing for me is these tunnels in LA connecting apparently from his house to Michael Jackson's.
Why would you tell us not to do anything wrong? Unless you're trying to avoid, maybe it's raining and you have the money to just build something
listen,
on the ground.
if you see these tunnels, this is things that you see out of movies. It's not a good look. You have these tunnels. But you have these tunnels where apparently there's these soundproof rooms. And Cassie testifies that
there's nothing illegal about having a soundproof room.
No, but Cassie's testifying that she's hearing people screaming for their life. Is it consensual screaming or is it I'm in danger screaming? And that's what we don't know.
And we haven't had that testimony yet, right? Because yes, there's some crazy facts that Cassie's talking about, and a relationship can be wonderful and then criminal, a week later, depending on the people involved and what occurs. So whether she's being dragged down that hallway, was that after the text messages, or maybe she's sending the text messages because she's trying not to get beat again,
Right,
right?
that's
And
true,
she's
too.
trying to she's trying to like stay in his good graces. We don't know the whole mental makeup of what was going on there, but I mean, you're having these parties and you're literally feeding people drugs, but we're not hearing the testimony that's saying I was this person locked in that room. That was me screaming, and this is what was happening.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like they made it such a big deal a few months ago. We're gonna arrest him. This guy is this
Marvel supervillain.
This
As
supervillain,
Kid
exactly.
Cudi calls
this
him.
Marvel supervillain that's doing all these bad things.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'm not here defending Diddy at all.
No,
Just want
very
everybody to know that.
clearly.
But I'm saying like you have this guy who has all these allegations against him, and I believe they probably may be proven as the trial goes on. But like sitting here today, we're 2 weeks in. You haven't heard anything other than I heard screams from a tunnel. What does that mean?
Why
Or
isn't it televised?
Is that maybe there was loud sex going on where
Yeah.
maybe people were screaming because they saw a football game or
Yeah.
something. Like
Yeah.
we don't know what's the context because she doesn't have personal knowledge other than saying I heard screams. Well, what were the screams that you heard? What were they saying?
I
Because
mean,
nothing.
yeah.
Who screamed? That was the other.
Yeah.
Who screamed? I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
That's not going to go far in court.
No.
And then when you show the text messages of I can't wait to get Diddy, I can't wait to see you later, that's going to destroy her credibility as far as her testimony. And then, listen, Sean Diddy Combs is not perfect. He's definitely not a nice guy, clearly from there. I mean, I'd love to see some testimony about, let's find out what happened with Tupac and Biggie. I mean, I think I would like to hear that in this trial.
Yeah,
Because,
Can
that's
that
worth
come out,
it.
please?
Yeah, that's worth it. Let's figure out what happened.
Well,
are they vacationing on an island? Like, is Tupac and Biggie somewhere else?
Biggie dead. Tupac's still alive. That's
Well, who's
that's
the
my
one
belief.
that the rumor is he's on? He's
Tupac.
on an island and he's going to
Tupac.
come. That's
Tupac.
Tupac's on the
He
island.
comes out every few years.
I mean,
That's
listen,
season.
I think that it is interesting that as this trial unfolds, more investigations of other Hollywood big names are starting to open back up. I don't know what that means. We don't know who has the evidence, and we don't know what's going on.
And that's huge.
But it should be televised.
It should be televised, but that's huge. And this is
We
not
don't
a
televise
this
in
is not
federal
like a Democrat Republican thing at all.
Yeah.
Like if he's doing this,
you're making a
and-
Democrat
No,
Republican
I'm
by
not.
saying
I'm not.
that.
No, I'm saying it on
Yes.
purpose. I'm saying it on purpose.
Bipartisan.
If this is a bipartisan across. If he's doing this,
Yeah.
and he's in Hollywood, and this is a known thing amongst circles. Who else is doing it?
Yes.
I mean,
Well,
literally
that's where
everyone's
That's
doing
where I was going to
it,
go
right?
and say that
The
there's,
tunnel
there's
connects to
nothing
Neverland.
wrong with having a sex and drug party if that's what you're consenting and what you want to do. You do it. It's
Minus
your,
the drugs being illegal.
Well, again, if I'm not
Yeah.
talking about what kind of drugs. If
Yeah.
prescription drugs, you can do. If your doctor's prescribing it, fine. Have fun.
Cialis.
But,
Definitely.
but my
allows the
point I'm
odds.
trying to make is you're 100% right. He is not the only one. I can guarantee you in Hollywood, the music industry, etc., that is having these type parties. Hollywood is messed up. I'll say it here. Hollywood is messed up.
Yeah.
They're
Doesn't
all-
Jeffrey Epstein
You go a
is-
step
this-
further. You go a
this-
step
this is
further.
like the Epstein
The
files,
1% of the 1% is
Yeah.
messed up.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
care if it's Hollywood. I don't care if it's the music industry. I don't care if it's hedge fund managers. When you have that much money and you're able to get away with all of this stuff,
You're above the law.
You're above the law.
Yeah,
There's
that's
no
what
more
we think.
morality, and it's all about what's good for you and what do you like.
Well,
That's it.
I think that the one percenters in Hollywood, because of the influence and the financial influence that they have, and the all other influences, is that they feel as if they could get consent out of people. Oh, do you want this role? Do you want to be in this movie? This is what you have to do for it. Oh, do you want
Have a
this
seat
kind
on
of?
the couch.
Yeah, have a seat. Listen,
Well,
Harvey Weinstein right now is back in trial and fighting for his life and for his freedom. I mean, so
Didn't he prevail and win that trial?
he did. Yeah. So, but
What did he get appealed?
I'm not exactly sure what the charges were, but I'm pretty sure the appeals were reversed.
I believe it was reversed. It was,
Yeah. No,
Not
so
the whole thing. Like a piece
no,
of
not
it,
the
I
whole
think,
thing,
yeah.
but different portions of it.
But
and that's
the,
what's going to happen.
The problem is you're hearing about this now because of the creation of cell phones, text messages, video footage. Things like that didn't exist years ago, and I'm sure things like this still occurred years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And now they're when you have supporting evidence, you can come out with these allegations. So. It's really curious to see how this folds out, how this thing pans out. They're expecting an 8-week trial. They're 2 weeks or 3 weeks in at this point. So we got another 4 or 5 weeks. Let's see what we get from the witness
We'll
testimony.
hit the topic again.
And then I'm sure there's going to be other court procedures that we have to talk about and bring up as the case unfolds and how as we hear more about it, because we're not there and watching it, but different appeals and whatnot is going to be
curious
another
to
issue.
see. Do you make Diddy testify?
Oh, definitely not. That's the last thing I would ever do is put Diddy on the
probably
stand.
not, right? I
Yeah.
mean-
First off, he looks terrible.
Yeah, he
looks terrible.
Well,
But-
that's all rules, though. You do all
sketches,
that.
though.
Yeah.
We're not. Yeah, and by the way, why are we not seeing the video? We got Johnny Depp and Amber Heard,
Yeah.
right? And that they took the country by storm, and it was captivating everybody.
I believe
mean,
that-
imagine
that-
if this was televised.
That was civil, though. This is criminal.
Rich,
OJ?
what's the difference? Why can't you? I mean, OJ and
Yeah.
Oh, OJ was televised.
I don't know.
I don't know. Some courthouse. I know, like for instance, in New York City, you go into a federal courthouse, you have to check your phone.
Well,
it's
yeah.
only sketch. So there's no
But that's-
there's no recording in there. Supreme Court of the United States, no recording in there.
That's different though. As
Only
an
audio.
attorney who's not approved, you have to check your phone, or as a witness. I guarantee that the news broadcasters, if they were to set it up and allow it, they would definitely allow video cameras in
for
there
sure.
for the purpose of newsworthy trial. And by the way, there are documentaries coming out of the woodworks about Diddy. I know 50 Cent is making one. I know Netflix has a handful of them already.
50 Cent has some dirt. He said.
Yeah, he said he's got all the dirt.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see what's going on there. And he goes, no, I don't get down like that. Because I'm just a normal guy. I'm like, yeah,
Love
sure.
50.
Yeah. Anyway.
You want to be a bad boy for life, then follow through with what Sean Diddy Combs is doing, and we'll touch base with you in a few weeks. We'll give you some further updates and clarifications of how the trial is panning out and what witnesses are testifying.